All right, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So sorry we're starting a bit late. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Skill Up Your Child show. My name is Maribeth Chima, and I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources. If you are with me, please can you shout out right now? If you are with me, let me know I have got company. All right. Welcome to the show. I am streaming live from the capital city of Nigeria. I am streaming live from Abuja. Where are you watching me from? If you're watching right now, if you're on this live stream, or if you are catching the replay, can you let me know where you're watching me from? All right, let me know where you're watching me from, and let me know how you're preparing for the end of the year. How has 2022 been to you? Has 2022 been good to you? How are you preparing to, close or to end the year? And how are you preparing the children for the end of the year, and of course for the new year? Am I on my profile? If I am on my profile, let me know that. Okay, I think I should be in the group. If you're here with me, please don't just be in the background. Can you say something so that we know? I know that I have got company here with me. If you're here with me, let me know where you're watching me from. If you are on YouTube, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? Yes, no? If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, then today is a good day for you to subscribe to the channel. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel right away? If you are watching me, please, where are you watching me from? Are you on my profile, or you are in the group, the PTM group? Let me know which of these places you're watching me from. If you have a friend that needs to be here, why don't you go ahead and invite them? Tag them on this live stream on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, why don't you go ahead and send them the link so that they can join us for this amazing session. This session is going to be brief, right? We're going to make this session as brief as possible, because we know it's that time of the year where everyone is busy trying to round up, trying to finish up on something, trying to finish up on a project or something. So everyone is busy doing one thing or the other. All right. So yes. If you're here, let me know you're here. Let me know who you are. And let me know where you are watching me from. Today, we're looking at how you can prepare your children, how you can prepare your children for the new year, how you can help your children get ready, how you can charge them up for the new year. Okay, I wrote a post earlier on, and I said somehow, the new year happens to be, there's just that thing about the new year. Sorry, Kamsi, fun. There's just something about the new year, it's a new year, it's January, and trying to get set, trying to set new goals. Yes, I know there's all the talk about people setting goals at the beginning of the year and forgetting about their goals a couple of weeks afterwards, but then we can't even take it away. There's just something about introducing or launching whatever it is you're doing at the beginning of the year. There's something about starting a new skill, starting a new project, starting a new, mindset and all of that at the beginning of the year. And it's something we could also use in parenting. Okay, it's a good time. It's a good time to start a new practice. Right? Hi, Chinima, it's good to have you. So the new year is a good time to start a new practice. It's a good time, to work on a mindset. It just gives you it gives you that time to, if you are someone who wants to measure, right? If you're someone who wants to measure your process, or you want to follow your process through, it gives you some sort of a template, to do that, right? So the new year, like it or not, whether it's true or not that people don't, see their go through, is actually a good time. And you don't have to be like every other person. You can actually go ahead and introduce whatever you want to introduce, especially with the kids. Introduce it, and of course decide that you will be different. You will follow through. All right, so we're looking at some of the things that we can do right now as parents, what we can do to ginger, to charge our children for the new year, especially if you have children who are young children and preteens. You know, that's our focus in the Skill Up show. In our Skill Up show, we're looking at children between the ages of 6 and 14. Okay, because we understand, I always say this, because we understand how important this phase in your child's life is, and we understand how in many cases, a lot, could have been neglected or not harnessed in the first 5 years of their lives, the first phase of their life that is really very critical. A lot of times we let that phase pass in our children's life and we don't get a lot of things done in that phase of their life. So yes, the next time that you can actually do something about the first phase and how, or if you didn't get it right in the first phase, and the next time you can try to, nip a lot of those things in the bud, make a lot of corrections, right? Introduce new skills, and of course teach your children skills and habits that they will need to thrive, is this phase between when your children are young children and preteens. Because if you're able to get it right at the stage where your children are preteens, then it means that you will be launching your children as teenagers. You will be launching your teenagers as skilled teenagers, right? So by the time your child crosses from being a preteen into a teenager, you would have a child that is already skilled. And I promise you, if you're able to raise a skilled preteen, it means that you are going to, it means that you would have, an easy, you have an easy, or you have an easy teenage parent relationship, which is a very, very, very important relationship. You need to be on the same page with your teenager. You need to be connected to your teenager. You need connection for that phase of your child's life, because that phase of their life will determine the rest of your relationship with them. A lot of parents lose their relationship with their children by the time they become teens. A lot of relationship between parents and their children suffer during the teenage phase of their lives, because at this stage your children are more, they're more aware of who they are. They're more in tune to who they are as individuals, right? They are more like they know what you're doing and all of that. And so if at this phase of their lives you allow things to happen that you cannot control, your spoken words, your actions, your children not perceiving, the love that you say you have for them and all of that, if you don't get it right, or if you mess it up by the time they are teenagers, it becomes a lot more difficult to repair your relationship. Some parents have had to wait till their children became, their children got into their 40s and 50s before they could repair the relationship that went sour during their teenage years. All right, some parents never came around to fixing those relationships. In fact, a lot of times, even when those relationships are fixed, they are not the same. All right, so now we don't want this kind of situation. We don't want a situation where we mess up our relationship with our teenagers and then we have to struggle to fix those relationships back again. So that's why we are very concerned about you skilling up your preteens. We're very concerned about you putting the work right now in this phase of their lives to correct all the gaps that already exist, from probably something, your lack of knowledge, or your lack of knowledge of where you were in your journey at that stage. So that's why this phase is very important. So we're looking at how you can work, or how you can charge up your young children and your preteens for the new year, basically. All right, now this show is a very short one, and in this show we cannot give you everything that you need. So what we do in this show is we come and we give you tips that you can use and run with. Okay, and because this is the end of the year, we want to give you these tips that you can use right now and begin to pump your children up and get them ready, right, to be charged for the new year. Get them charged for the new year. So we want to give you these tips so that you can take these tips and begin to work with these tips. But more than tips is that you need support. You need someone to hold your hands. You need someone to guide you. You need someone to support you. You need that system that can support you. Okay, except of course you can do everything for your child, but of course we all know that we can do everything for our children. Even I can do everything for my children. I'm sure even you can do everything for your children. But hey, it depends on the kind of support that you need. If you need support to help them beyond these tips, then by all means, please get the support that you need to get your children. But hey, we're giving you the tips today so that you can start running with that tip, with those tips, with the tips that we're going to give you. And then as you go along the line, when you need, you would understand the kind of support that you need, and you understand how to get that support. And so reach out. We're always here. Okay, this is what we do at PTM Resources. At PTM Resources, we create resources for you, and we create support that can help you skill up your preteens, because we want to help you raise, or we want to work with you to raise teenagers who are skilled, so that you can be sure you can work towards that relationship of understanding, that relationship of deep connection, that relationship that your teenager needs to have with their parents in order for them to master how to navigate the world on their own. So number one tip right now that you need to start working on, number one thing you need to start working on to prepare your children, right? To prepare your children for 2023, or to prepare your children to pump them up for 2023, all right? To be successful in 2023 is you need to connect with your children this holiday. All right, so take it now that today is you're getting this knowledge today and you want to run with it. Okay, the first thing I need you to do, especially during the holiday, is to connect with your children. Connect with your children doesn't mean that you're not going to work, so you are at home and so you are connecting. No, it means that you are intentional about your connection with your children today or this holiday, right? So if in previous holidays you have not connected with your children in a deliberate way, okay, let's do this. Sorry. All right. So if in previous holidays you have not connected your children with your children intentionally or deliberately, then this holiday New Year is almost here. Exactly. New Year is almost here. Now, please, if you have someone that needs to be here, let me give you a minute to tag them. You have someone that needs to be here, let me give you a minute to share this link with them. If you're on YouTube, on Facebook, you can tag them so that they can join us. Okay? Before we continue, these tips are going to be these tips are very relevant, and they are going to be very helpful to you in your journey. So I want as many people in here for us to share this. The holiday has kicked in. So some of us have gone on holiday already. Please don't go on holiday already until you have prepared yourself and prepared your children for the new year. So before you go into the full-blown celebration of Christmas, please do some housekeeping, do some preparation, put some plants on ground, sow some seeds, okay, before we go into full-blown celebration. So let me give you a minute to tag those that needs to be here. Okay, let's talk about the skills that you need, or the things, the tools that you need, strategy that you need today to help pump your children and get them ready for the new year. So go ahead and do that while I do a little housekeeping right here. All right, ma'am. Go ahead. Thank you, Chidima, for being here. Thank you for tagging your friends. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Welcome. The holiday is almost here. You are so correct. Let's do this. Nope. All right. So yes, the number one thing you want to do is you want to connect with your children this holiday. You want to connect to your children this holiday deliberately, intentionally. So yes, go ahead and begin to create a plan for the holiday. Create a plan for the holiday that will help you connect with your children. All right. A simple plan would be, what do you intend to do with your children in the morning? When you wake up in the morning, what are you going to do? What deliberate effort are you going to make towards connecting with them, right? Meaning, what are you going to do? What is that time that you will create where you drop everything? Everyone has dropped everything every day. You have that 30 minutes, 1 hour, or however, pending on the time, that you have during this holiday, that you drop everything. And this time is just the children and I. You need to create that kind of system this holiday. Okay, make sure that you have the time for your children this holiday, because as we said, number one thing you want to do to prepare your children for 2023, for success in 2023, to pump them up, right, and get them ready, to with a different mindset, with a better mindset, with bigger dreams, with bigger achievements at the back of their mind, for you to get your children into the new year, your preteens, right? We'll focus on children between ages 6 and 14. What can you do for your 6-year-old, your 10, 12, 14-year-old to begin to see themselves differently in 2023, to begin to work better, to get more grit, to make them more involved in their own life, to make them begin to direct themselves better, to make them begin to want more for themselves than just mommy and daddy wanting for themselves? How can we get our preteens or our young children skilled for 2023 so that we can begin to see different, we can begin to see more from them in 2023? The first thing you want to do is you want to connect with them. So let's take it that you've not connected enough before now. This is your chance to connect with your children in this holiday. Okay, so what do you do to connect with your children this holiday? Create a plan for the holiday. What are your holiday plan? By now you should know what the holiday is going to be like. For instance, you should know where you are going to be as a family. Please, the holiday is the time. This is not the time where your children are somewhere else and you are somewhere else, if you can make that possible. This is the time where you are where your children are. Please, okay, in your arrangements, arrange that you and your children are together during this holiday. Okay, now if you're going to be together during this holiday, then you need to create a plan. When we wake up in the morning, what are we going to do? Okay, what are we going to do? What activity are we going to do together as a family? Okay, what are we going, in the activities that we do, how can I involve everybody in our activities during this holiday? Okay, make sure that you do not wing your holiday. If you've done that in the past, don't do it this holiday. Because, hey, at the back of your mind this holiday, you want to pump your children up and you want your children to develop a deeper, you want them to develop a different mindset, right, about themselves. You want to equip them, right, to be more for themselves. You want to equip them to dream bigger. You want to equip them to start directing themselves better. You want to equip them to begin to see themselves as more and begin to see the champions that they are within. So take it, put it at the back of your mind, right, that this is what you want to achieve during this holiday, or this is what you want to achieve during this holiday. This is what you want to achieve, or this is how you want to launch your child into 2023. So what am I going to do to be able to launch this child this way into 2023? Number one is that I'm going to connect with them. So when we wake up in the morning, what activities are we going to do in the morning? All right, how are we going to go about these activities? Is it chores? Okay, are we going to share the chores around so that everybody will do their chores? Now, how can we do chores during this holiday in a way that is exciting and everybody is happy about? All right, so one of the ways that you can do this is you can decide that this holiday there's going to be a lot of music in the background. There's going to be a lot of fun and music all around the house. So you can wake up in the morning and you can start with a very lovely, sweet sound in the background in your home. Let your children wake up to lovely music. Let them wake up to that relaxing sound in the atmosphere. Okay, that is something. Okay, you can decide if you are all about Christmas, right? You can decide to play good Christmas songs, in the background. Let them play, for most of the day, you just have music going on. It gives a light mode, to everyone. It gives an ambient. It gives, this atmosphere of fun, and excitement in the background, isn't it? Okay, is it that you need to make a list of movies that you want to watch together as a family? Go ahead and do that. Is it like you have stories, right? Storytelling is something that you must do this holiday. Okay, I was going to come to that. If you're going to bond with your children, you're going to connect with your children this holiday, then make sure that on your list or in your plan, you also have storytelling. Okay, have storytelling in your plan. And we have even made that easy for you with my new book, Christmas Stories for Champions. Okay, Christmas Stories for Champions is nothing, has nothing to do with the story of Christmas. We all know the story of Christmas. We have all read, we have all listened to, we've all seen the story of Christmas. So no, I'm not telling you the story of Christmas, the manger and the star and the birth of, that's not what Christmas Stories for Champions is about. Christmas Stories for Champions is a book, a collection of stories of people, like people in their 50s, their 60s, 40s, and 30s that have told about what their different Christmas experiences were while they were growing up. All of them African stories, fully African stories. Okay, stories from the north, from the south, from the east, from the western part of Nigeria. It will dabble a little into culture. It will talk a little about culture. It will talk a little about living in harmony. It will talk a little about the mistake that children make. It will talk a little. So it's a book, it's a collection of stories of parents, stories that parents have told to their children about their own childhood, that is laden with lessons. Okay, the stories are laden with lessons that children can get while you tell the stories. Now what we've done is we've written the story in a way that will trigger you to have conversations with your children. So when you read the story together, okay, so that's a good way to share the book Christmas Stories for Champions. Okay, you make it you in your list or in your plan. Okay, in your plan to connect with your children this holiday, you want to put probably storytelling, or you want to read a book together or something like that. Put it in a way that will appeal to your children. It depends. If your children are not people who read at all, then you want to call it story time. Okay, you want to call it story time. Who knows? With your children might begin to love reading, because hey, that is also in the plan, is to make a book exciting enough for a child who doesn't read ordinarily to want to pick it and read. And who knows, that may be that one trigger that they need to get them to start reading. But hey, the book is curated, right, for you to read as a family, connect, and so that you can tell your own stories, because every one of the stories in Christmas Stories for Champions will resonate with you. Basically, you will connect with the stories in one way or the other, whether it's your personal experience or the experiences of someone that you know, or the experiences of something or someone that you've heard in the past. You will connect with these stories, and so you can use it as a trigger, use it as a call, right, to tell more stories, because storytelling is a huge way to connect with your children. I was out with my children yesterday. We went for an intensive storytelling session, right, like some stage play yesterday. As it was such an amazing experience that the storyteller, funny enough, it was just one person telling the story with many acts and all of that. By the time she was done with that, by the time the show was over, every single child in that hall, every single child with that hall wanted to go hug the lady who told the story. They connected with her instantly. My daughter couldn't stop hugging her. She hugged her with her eyes closed, like, oh my goodness, like someone that she has known for years. That's what storytelling does. It connects the storyteller with the person that is listening to the story. So you want to tell stories this holiday. All right, so go ahead. Pre-order is still on for that book. So you can go ahead and pre-order that book right now so that you can get number one out of the way, connecting with your children. Okay, it is also a time where you want to listen to your children a lot. You want to have those one-on-one time with them, all right, pending on where you are having the holiday. Okay, you can decide, hey, sweetie, let's go. You remember, it's the holiday and you are supposed to have some time. You're supposed to have more time in your hands this holiday than you have during the regular time where you go to work. Okay, so this is the time you want to create opportunity to have strolls with your child. Okay, you may have 3 children and decide to be with each of them at a time. All right, hey, sweetie, are you ready? Can we go for a walk? You go for a walk, and then during those walks, works. You just ask open-ended questions, questions that do not require yes, no, questions that you ask your children, and your children ask your child, and it will trigger your child to tell you, something, and keep telling you and keep telling you. All right. Or you can start by telling them a story, or telling them an experience, or telling them something that is there to you. Hey, sweetie, oh God, this happened to me. I've not even told anyone about it, but let me tell you about it today. I'm not saying you should go and tell your children stories go and tell them things that are beyond them. I didn't say that. Okay. But create stories, or think about stories from your past. Okay. Think about stories from growing up. Okay, when you got into trouble with your father, when you got into trouble with your mom, or something, whatever it is, just think about something. Tell your children the stories. What you're doing is you are inviting the child to talk to you openly. Okay, you are inviting the child to speak to you openly. Put this at the back of your mind. How open your child is dependent on the invitation that you offer them as a parent to be open. Okay, let me take that again. Dear parents, how open your child is with you is dependent on the kind of invitation that you give to the child to be open towards you. Okay, so what kind of invitation? How do you invite your child to be open to you? If you are constantly judging the child, then you are not inviting them to be open to you. All right, if you are a parent who listens to your child make mistakes, and you are just there with that really understanding look, oh my God, really, that happened, oh my God, I can imagine how you felt. You listen to their stories and you hug them. No matter, inside you want to shout and tell them how stupid they were, but please, can you hold it sometimes? Okay, can you hold it sometimes? Just listen to them. That's what you want to do this holiday. Invite your children to be open, with you this holiday. Invite your preteens. You need it right now. You need to establish that relationship of openness with your preteen today. This is the right time. A preteen that does not trust you will grow into a teenager that will never. You cannot fix a relationship of trust during your child's teenage age. It's difficult. It's difficult to fix a relationship of trust when your children are teenagers, but you can fix your relationship of trust better when your children are still 6 and 7 and 10 and 12. It's easier to fix a relationship of trust with your child when they are 8 than it is to fix a relationship of trust with your child when they are 16. If your 16-year-old does not trust you, it is difficult for them to begin to trust you when they are 20. You will have to wait till when they are in their 40s and they begin to have children and they begin to understand that, it's really not easy to do this parenting thing. That is the time, a lot of times, that children come around, in some cases, depending on the degree of trauma or the degree of hurt, between the parent and the child. So no, you don't want to wait for that season in the life of your child. How you invite them to be open to you today will determine how open your child is. And during their preteens, when they are 8 and 10, 12 is the right time for you to build trust between your child and you. And trust can be built through connection. Okay, connection, listening to them, talking with them, listening to their problems, not judging them, taking time to spend time with them, and all of that, telling them stories. Tell them about your stories. Listen to them tell you about their struggles. Provide solutions. No, help them profile their own solutions. Come in and say to them, do you want to look at it this way? I have a suggestion. Suggest it to your children rather than tell your children what to do all the time. This is very key in your relationship with your child. Very, very key. Okay, so I think I've spent a lot of time in number one. Number two is you must get your children to begin to see themselves as the front runners or the leaders of their lives. Yes, you need to create a system in your home that makes your child understand that, you see, this life that is yours, it is yours first. You are the most important person in your own life. first of all. So you create a system that makes your child know that you are the most important person in your life, and I am here to support you. So get your children to set goals. Let them set their own goals. If you are going to prepare your child to excel, to succeed, if you're going to pump your child up for 2023, for them to have a better mindset, for them to have deeper insights into life, for them to begin to direct themselves better, for them to begin to lead themselves better, for them to live better in 2022, 2023, or in the new year, then you must get your children to understand that their life is theirs first. Their life, they are the most important people in their own lives. And so they have to start setting goals for themselves. Who told you that it is too early for your 6-year-old to set goals? Who told you that it's too early for your 7 or 8, 10-year-old to set goals? Not at all. Get your children to start setting goals for themselves. And these goals can be really very small things. Okay, all right, sweetie. You know, we are Christians, okay, and God died for us, right? You know that God loves you, right? And all of that. So what can you do? What do you want to do this year, right, to show God that you also love God? What do you want to do this year to show that you understand the commandments of God and you want to keep it? What do you want to do this year to make sure that you are a good person and you are good to people around you, as God said we should be? Love our neighbors as ourselves. What do you want to do this year? Talk this way. Your 6, 7, your 8-year-old will understand this. Even your 6-year-old will understand this. Okay, sweetie, let's pick one thing. One thing. Okay, you can start with one thing, depending on the child. One thing. What's that one thing you want to do this year to be closer to God? Okay, have these conversations with your children. Give them the vision board. Have this conversation with your child, okay, and then let them pick that one thing, those 2 things that they want to do in that area this year. Okay, it is an amazing way to introduce your children into goal setting. They are never too young, I promise you. Your 6-year, in fact, if you like, start creating goals with your 5-year-olds. We just had a conversation. Hey, sweetie, you go to church with your children, don't you? You take them to church. You take them to Bible school. You take them to, what do you call it? Bible school. You take them around with you. Okay, how about moving from just dragging children to getting children to begin to do small things? So have this conversation with your child and say to the child, hey, sweetie, so what's that thing you want to do so that you love God? What do you want to do this year that we'll have to, mommy will walk with you, daddy will walk with you and remind you, so that we keep doing it over and over again? Okay, do that with your children. It's a good way to set them up for success. I promise you, if you can create goals like this, help your children create goals like this, and then help them honor this goal, as regularly as possible, you will be amazed by the 3rd month in the year how your child will be able to direct themselves in this area. I'm not saying your child will be perfect. I've never said anything about perfection anyway. I'm not saying your child is going to be perfect, but you will be amazed at the progress that your child would make. Okay, if you don't know, if you don't know how to go about these things, we're here to help you, because we're always here to help you. Have you seen the flyer for the workshop that we have? We have a vision workshop. People call me and say, what age are the children that should be at this workshop? The children between 7 and 16 should be at this workshop. But no, even your 6-year-old, your 5-year-old, if you think they can sit down and listen, can be there. And hey, even if they cannot, why are you not there? Why aren't you there yourself, dear parents? You can join this conference. You can join the workshop for your child. Join the workshop. I tell you what you should do at every point. What I have decided to do this year is I am filling my toolbox for my children. So yes, I am attending. I have been married for 15 years almost, but I'm going to attend marriage classes this year. Because, hey, I already have a 13-year-old. I already have an 8-year-old. They are going to get married someday. How am I going to be able to set them right? Or how am I going to be able to launch them well? Or am I going to be able to advise or direct or lead them if I do not even have knowledge in these areas? So no, I am going to pay money and attend marriage courses. Okay, attend beginners marriage courses just because I want to equip my toolbox to be able to, equip my children better. All right. So these are the kind of things. So yes, who says your children? Some parents will be like, oh, my children are still 4 and 2. So no. Attend the workshop for yourself, or attend it first to equip yourself. The workshop is just 3,000 naira. It's just a commitment fee. It's got nothing to do with the price of this workshop. We're bringing you 10 young people who already embody focus, purpose, and already living their life in a direction of focus. Young people that would ginger, why do I use the word ginger a lot? Young people that will inspire your young children. I tell you, at the end of the Mastermind Vision Conference, if your child does not have a mindset shift, call me and let's have a conversation about it. I mean, I'm talking about your 7-year-old to your 16-year-old. They will have a total mindset shift. If your child has been afraid, if your child has not been able to, align with what it is that they love, or align with what it is that they are interested in, after that conference, your children will align with something. Okay, when I say align with something, I don't mean that your child will come and tell you he wants to be a doctor, he wants to be a nurse. No, my son is 13-year-old, but we have never had to discuss what do you want to be in the future, because no, we know that life is much more than what thing you decide to use as expression of your purpose. Okay, being a doctor, a nurse, a teacher is just you expressing, having an avenue to express your purpose. Your purpose is bigger than a career. It's bigger than a career. So stop getting too lost in, I'm raising my child to be a doctor. That's why you send them to certain kind of school. You put so much pressure on them. Lesson teacher, because all you see is doctor. Okay, all you see is doctor. You can't see beyond doctor. If you can see beyond doctor, and you can see who is the human being you want to become, who is the kind of human being I want to raise, who is the kind of human being I want to raise my child to become. When you can see that, you would realize that being a doctor just is number 20 on the list of who and not what. Okay, on the list of who and not what. So yes, what kind of child do you want to raise? That's what's important. Not who do you want. I mean, that's what would you want to be in future? Who do you want to raise? What kind of human being do you want to raise your child to become? All right. So get your children to set goals like this. So yes, you must attend. You should. You should attend the vision board workshop, or the vision mastermind vision workshop. So we have 10 young people from all across the world. We brought them in from the UK, from the US, and then we have 2 sessions for you parents. Yes, it's for your children, but we have 2 sessions that are directed to you, right, as a parent. So you see, this conference is worth more than 20,000 naira, but we're giving it for just 3K because we want you to be committed. Okay, we want you to be committed to this conference. We're also going to send you e-pictures that your children or you can use for their vision board, so that you don't have to go about scouting for pictures everywhere. So take your 3K that you are paying as the transport or the discomfort that you would have used to scout for all the pictures and then print and all of that. So take it that, that's what you're paying for. But basically what I'm saying is you cannot afford not to be at this vision board conference. Okay, so check workshop. So check at the end of this session, you see the link, click on it and register. You see the detail. Just make your 3,000 naira payment, chinkini money, and get ready. The workshop begins on Thursday. It's just here around the corner. Okay, the workshop begins on Thursday, and it's going to be powerful. All the sessions during the week are in the evenings, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and it ends maximum. It ends at 8 p.m. Some even at 7 p.m. Okay, the latest one I think is on Saturday, ends at 8 p.m. But every other one is between 4 and 7 o'clock in the evening, and we have 30 minutes breaks so that we don't leave the children sitting in one place, for a stretch of time. So yes, you need to attend that. So number 2 is that your children need to set goals. All right, I'm not giving you too many. I'm giving you 3 that will cover everything that you need to do. So number 2 is your children. Okay, let me give you 4. So number 2 is your children need to learn to set goals. Get your children to set goals. All right, and all. Number 3, in this year, make up your mind that you are going to get your children to be busy. Get your children involved. Get your children busy, oh, get your children engaged. It is because a lot of our children are idle. That is why they cannot drop their phones. That is why TV is an issue. That is why they get into all kinds of sites that are unhealthy for them. Get your children engaged in positive things, productive things. Let your children learn to play a musical instrument. Let your children learn how to use technology. Okay, I'm not talking about how to go on TikTok and how to please, I'm trying to get to my TikTok account. Give it to me, mommy. I can do it for you. I'm trying to get around Instagram. Give it to me. I can. Your children know how to get into every social media site. But let your children create one thing. One thing, even to create happy birthday on Canva is a problem. They can't do anything else apart from navigate social media. No, your children are not tech savvy. Your children are consuming technology the way they eat rice and beans. That's all that they are doing. So yes, let your children learn a skill. Let them involve themselves in that skill. Let them practice that skill. Thank you, Chidima. Yes, let them practice that skill every day or very regularly. Okay, get your children into that kind of practice in 2023. So make up your mind, have the conversation with your children, let them tell you what they are interested in. That is why they should come to the vision board workshop, because at the end of the vision board workshop, they will connect with the things that all of these speakers were bringing in. The speakers are highly skilled people, young people, 18-year-olds, 21-year-olds who are already running businesses, who already have residual income. These are the kind of people we're bringing to you. We're not bringing people that will come and tell you how they have all A's. We're talking about people who have all A's, who are doing amazing things with their all A's, people who are students, who are earning a lot of money and still are A+ students. These are the kind of people we're talking about here. We're not coming to tell people, we're not bringing people that will come and show you results and tell you how we have all A's. Okay, you have 15 A's, then then I'm just waiting for a time that I will just get a scholarship and then go. Then we're talking about children who are doing, young people who are already doing things. Okay, so send your children to the workshop so that, at the end of the workshop, they will be able to put their finger on one or two skills that they want to start pursuing or they want to start honing. And then you will make up your mind and look for how you can get them on platforms where they can do this. Very, very key. Get your children into systems, structure, support systems where it is not just your voice that they are hearing. They're hearing the voice of other young people like themselves. They're hearing the voices of mentors. They're hearing the voices of people that they respect, people who can corroborate what it is you're saying to your children. Sometimes the reason our children do not believe is just because you are the only one telling them a certain kind of story. You need more people. You need people who are collaborators with you that can corroborate what it is you are saying or what you're doing with your children. It makes for better understanding and for deeper trust. I promise you. Okay, this is where the mastermind circle comes in. You have a child between you have a child between 6 and 13, then why are they not in the mastermind? The mastermind circle is that program, is that circle where we work with you every day. And I'm not joking. Every day, parents, we work with you. As you're doing your work with your children, we are working with you. Okay, and so we are holding your child accountable. We are supporting your child. We are raising your child. We are praising your child. We're uplifting your child in every way, academically, spiritually, academically, or spiritually. Like we are enriching them in their faith also. Okay, we're not teaching them any particular faith. We are just making them understand that your faith is very important and you need to pay attention to it. The mastermind is where everyone should be. If you have a child between 6 and 13, then 2023 is the time that you do not want to miss having them in the mastermind, because 2023 we've dropped everything else to focus on the mastermind. So just think about it. We've dropped everything else that we do to focus on the mastermind on the children, not the mastermind, on the children basically. So we are ready for these children. The slogan for 2023 is no child is left behind. We're leaving no child behind in this 2023. Okay, so last. Did I say I will give you 4 or 5? All right, the fifth one, of course, is to take grit. You know what grit is? Take grit, embody grit, and decide that you see this 2023. I am going to ensure that my child knows what grit is. My child embodies grit and my child lives grit, and I'm going to model it. So, what is grit quickly? We're looking at resilience, the ingredients in grit. We're looking at resilience. You're going to ensure that you are there, present as a parent, to make sure that you help and support your child you will exemplify resilience, and you will be there to support your child to be resilient. So when your child comes and is struggling with that homework, okay, and is there tired and everything, you're going to put yourself in a place where you're going to encourage your child and make the child know, hey sweetie, you can do this, you can do this. Do you want me to support you? I'm here to support you. We have to go and learn emotional intelligence as a parent. Learn emotional intelligence, learn how to regulate yourself, learn how to speak warmly. And this is the other thing that we do in the mastermind. Because you are a partner with us, your child is in partnership with us, we are automatically in partnership with you as a parent. So we have monthly webinars for you as a parent, where we will be at least sharing with you, not just tips, we'll be sharing with you how you can walk this journey with your children. Your children are our main focus, okay? But hey, because you are in the mastermind, we get to share tips with you, to speak with you, okay? From every now and then, we get to share, experiences with you, and we get to talk about your experiences and whatever you're struggling with, right? From time to time. This is not going to be enough. So go ahead and look for your own mentorship group and join, okay? Send me a message if you're not sure where to go. We will send you to the right place. But hey, you have extra thanks in the fact that we are here to support you all the way. If you're a parent and you need help, you need that circle where you can thrive also, send me a message and I will tell you what to do. But in the mastermind, we also are here to listen to you and to help you out with whatever struggles you're having, provided the child is a partner in the mastermind. All right. So, of course, we can leave the God factor in everything. In everything that we do before 2021, what do you do? What do you need to do as per your faith, based on your faith, based on your values? What do you need to do to prepare your child spiritually for a year where they are going to take on, where they're going to evolve, and where they are going to, the trajectory is going to change completely for your child? All right, then get that faith together and begin to speak it into your child's life, and then begin to teach your child how to connect with God. Yes, your 6-year-old can begin to connect with God. Your 7, your 10-year-old. Why is your 12-year-old not connecting to God, on a level that even you are like, geez, how did I get here? That is what you need to do right now. Take this holiday and create a system where you can work with your children to connect with God. All right, so this is the size of it. We said 30 minutes. We've ended up doing about 50 minutes, okay? Because this is never enough. 30 minutes is never enough to tell you, to step down a skill. So that's why you need to get your child into the mastermind, where it's a complete hand holding. We're holding your child, we're holding them accountable, we're supporting them. There's peer mentorship. They're seeing other children like themselves doing. And so every time, they know that I can do more, I can do more. And then as a parent, whenever it gets a bit woozy, you can say, hey, Miss Maribel, can we talk? This is what Chimdi is doing. Can you help me have a word with him? And then, of course, we love to have a word with the kids in the most amazing, sweet, kind way possible. Thank you very much for being here. Chidima, I see you. My son has come a long way from being ordinary to extraordinary in the mastermind. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for sharing with us. All right. Coach Marybeth and Kamsi are good at what they do. We thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We put our whole energy into the mastermind because we understand that if the children get it right, then it's a win-win situation for all of us. I promise you, all of our children is a circle of life. We all say that thing you think you're doing in your home. Oh, I'm doing well with my children. I'm doing well with my children. They'll be fine. They will come out and they will be with other children. And then when they are with other children and you've just focused on your children, you'll be wondering, what have I done to myself? Okay, so we need to build an army of children who are on the right path. Thank you very much. I can't see any questions. Thank you for everyone who made time to join us on this stream today. If you're watching the replay, please let us know you're watching a replay. And if you got value for this session, please let us know you got value for the session. All right, the Mastermind Vision Workshop begins on Thursday. It's just 3,000 naira. Use the link, pay, and then join us for that session. We have just about 20 slots left. When we are full, we will shut down. All right. If you want to get our book, Christmas Stories for Champions, then pre-order. Right now, you can buy it for 4,000 naira alone. If you are buying it with the journal, I didn't talk about the journal. Oh my goodness. I've talked about goal setting. I didn't tell you about the journal. The journal is everything that you need for your child to set goals with ease and to walk through. It's a document that's been prepared solely for this purpose. In the journal alone will make your child want to set goals and want to follow their goals through. So if you're buying the journal and the Christmas Stories for Champions, then you can get both of them for 7,000 naira, which brings it to about 3,500. But if you're buying a single one, it is 4,000 naira. Pre-order for these also ends on the 8th. I think it's 18th. Pre-order ends on the 18th, and after the 18th, we will begin to sell it for 5,000 naira, meaning 10,000 naira for the two of them. Meaning that you get to save 3,000 naira if you're buying it now, between now and the 18th, right? Awesome. Did I say 18th? Hey, let my team not come and shoot me. Did we say 18th? Because 18th is when these books are supposed to be going out. So, did I say 18th? Okay. All right, just go ahead and pre-order your copy of this book. Of course. And of course, if you want to join the mastermind, we're always here for you. With 5,000 naira, you can book your slots right now for the mastermind, and then you pay. It's a 1-year subscription. So we'll be working with your child for a whole year. I promise you, by the time you stay 1-2 months, you would have finished that 1-year subscription. But hey, we're with you to the end of the year. All right. So thank you. This is how you get your child charged, ready take on 2023. Thank you very much for everyone who joined us today. We do not take it for granted. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments. You can also always reach us with our number. Our number is always everywhere. You can send us a chat on WhatsApp and we'll be glad to attend to you. Have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.